Hey, thank you, Kimball, the Director of Product Marketing at Dakota Software. I'm really excited to talk to you about QR codes and how they can be used for EHS related reporting. I like this 15-minute format. We're going to focus on the important information, so let's get right to it. So it probably goes without saying that strong safety programs are just good business. I doubt anyone on this call will disagree. Research from the American Society of Safety Professionals shows that the return on investment in safety is proven. A commitment to safety helps employees, customers, and the public view the organization as safety-minded and, more importantly, as a sustainable enterprise. It helps to ensure compliance with regulatory requirements, and this is important not just for avoiding fines and penalties, but also for avoiding disastrous events that can cost the organization both financially and in public perception. Then there's direct cost savings related to workers' compensation, medical care, lost time. Additionally, research shows that organization-wide focus on safety can lead to higher worker productivity, which can drive revenue growth, the bottom line. And it also leads to improved employee satisfaction, helping to retain top talent and attract more skilled workers, which is especially important nowadays. So a strong safety culture, of course, is built on trust and communication. Frontline workers really need a channel to voice their concerns to safety leaders without fear of reprisal. And safety leaders need tools for filtering and channeling this feedback into actionable insights. So this is the cycle of continuous improvement that EHS leaders really strive for and is sometimes difficult to achieve. In a recent study by industry analyst Verdantix, it shows that safety leaders lack the data that they need to do a proper analysis. Data is inconsistent, it's low quality. It often has them focusing on the lagging indicators, which forces them to be reactive rather than proactive. So what does Dakota Software know about it? Well, Dakota's been in this space since 1988. We definitely know a thing or two about data management, but also about how to get processes and procedures in place. So most EHS professionals might know us because of our compliance planning and auditing tools, but incident management is also a core part of our software suite. So I like to focus on these million-plus incidents and issues that we have helped our customers over the years capture and take action on. So let's first start by defining what we're talking about. We're talking about an EHS incident or issue. Obviously, there's going to be the traditional incidents, injuries and illnesses, environmental incidents, motor vehicle accidents, property damage. There are often compliance obligations associated with the recording and management of these types of incidents. There's also valuable data that can inform decision making, but most organizations have very few of these types of incidents. So the information that can really be gleaned from the data collected from these type of records doesn't really equal the type of volume that allows safety leaders to take the type of action that they want. So that's where near misses and, more importantly, observations really come in. They're critically important because they're more frequent, leading to more data. Observations and Dakota supports observations both safe and unsafe, and of conditions and of behaviors. And so what this can lead to is a wealth of data. And the more data, the better the ability to analyze and identify issues proactively. So, having a system in place obviously is one thing, but we've worked with our clients to remove a lot of these other barriers from reporting of safety concerns. And the use of QR codes is one of the ways that we have started doing that. Let me state before we get into the QR component that Dakota has no proprietary authority or knowledge of QR codes. In fact, our software does not generate QR codes. They're simply a commonly available tool that has made it simpler for anyone, anywhere with a mobile device to report safety issues. And so removing some of these barriers, technology can make reporting of incidents more accessible. So we advise our clients to keep it simple. Our tools and whatever process you decide to employ, we don't require logins for people to report issues. because the other part is keeping things safe. And we're talking about emotional safety here. People want to be able to report things without necessarily being identified. So the ability to be anonymous is desired by some companies to make sure that the safety concerns are being submitted without any type of hesitation. And then making things accessible. Traditionally, we have done this through kiosks on the shop floor. For decades, we've done this. A computer station with a shortcut on the desktop that someone simply needs to click in order to add a concern. That has been the way we've been doing it. And as I mentioned, now with mobile devices and QR codes, there's a new channel for doing this. So why now? Mobile devices have been around for more than a decade. They've become more accepted in the workplace that people have personal mobile devices. The big change that's happened over the past couple of years is the support of QR scanning natively through the devices. So it used to be that you have to download an app in order to scan a QR code, and there is a giant barrier right there. Now, most Android, iOS, Apple devices have the ability to scan right in the camera. And what it simply does is opens the web browser once a QR code is scanned. So we'll walk through that process in a second. I want to quickly point out the difference between mobile apps and the approach that we're advising. A lot of people say, well, can't I just download an app? And the answer is yes, you can. There are applications that are freemium type things you can download where it's a native app on your device. You click it to open it. You click new record. You can add an incident or an issue that way. Depending upon the structure of your organization, that might be something you want to consider. This option with a native app also records who the user is because it's installed on their device. Usually the device knows who's entering a record, and that can be bad, especially when that anonymous reporting is desired. So the other things, it requires the downloading of an app, and that is a barrier. Getting everyone, especially to put it on their own personal device, can cause some hesitation. And the other thing, it doesn't really keep reporting of issues top of mind the way that the QR code combined with a poster in the workplace might be able to do. So again, what we're talking about here is the use of the native capabilities of a mobile device. So that's taking advantage of the camera on the device to scan a QR, which opens the device's native browser. So nothing to download. And if location isn't important because you're geographically compact, if we're talking about lots of people in a manufacturing environment, that might be a route that you want to go. So now let's go through the steps of creating QRs and distributing them for your frontline workers to be able to access. So real quick before we get into the process of what is a QR. A QR code is a quick response code that can capture a lot more information than a traditional two-dimensional barcode. They are not new. They've been around since the 90s. They were originally invented for the auto industry in Japan, and they've grown in popularity, especially over recent years. You probably see them in advertisements. I see them on streaming TV now. During the pandemic, they became very popular for downloading menus in restaurants. So they're very easy to use, and people have gotten very comfortable with them. They can do all types of things. They can initiate a file download. They can share contact information. The most popular use is opening of a web page, a URL. And so that's where we're going to focus. So what we're talking about is really, so first step of this, you have to start with a web-based form. There are many routes that you can create forms. If you have your own like a SharePoint system or you're using Google environment, Microsoft environment, most of those applications have form builders. The creation of the form is very important because it normalizes that data. It allows for the apples to apples comparison that the safety and EHS leaders really want. One thing that we know from working with clients over the years is it's very important to agree upon a balanced form. When we're talking about, when we say balanced, is too many fields can lead to hesitancy in reporting. Too few fields, you can get too little value from the reports that are coming in. So it's important to work with all stakeholders, from the workers in the field to frontline workers to safety leaders at the site to the corporate safety leaders, to define what is required in that form in order to capture that balance, that Goldilocks area of data. Step 2, you're going to embed your form in a web page. And so this is could be private, could be public. It depends upon the nature of your business. A private one might be on a company intranet where it's already password protected. Public, if you want to make it available to anyone without them having to log in, contractors, etc., it would just be accessible to the people who have that link or the ability to scan that QR code in this case. A lot of times here, you'll have to lean on your IT team to get this going. So get them the information they need, make sure they understand your process, and they should be able to help you. So the next thing is you would need to get your QR code pointing to that web page's URL. So, you know, I'm showing an example of our software here. You can pull that URL out. Right from the browser, you have the ability to copy that link, and that link will be important because that's what we're going to use to create the QR. Note also that Google Chrome has the ability just to output a QR code right here. If you do it from Chrome, they give you this little dinosaur on there. Not desirable having that posted all around your company. But Google also has a plugin for Chrome that allows you to create one without the dinosaur. Microsoft Edge has the same capability. You just right click on your web page, it'll give you a QR. There's also tons of different free QR code generators out there if you want to do different colors and creative things with it. Note that many of these QR codes generators will try to upsell you. Don't buy into it. Don't give them your email address. Take the file and go. But you can also use these QR code generators. You paste your URL into that and it will give you the code that you need. Download the file and you're ready to go. So the next part is displaying the QR codes, and you want to do this strategically and with clear intent. So we do this, we work with our customers to put them in posters that they can place around their facilities, and they place them wherever work is done or where workers congregate. Typically, it includes a safety message or something of that nature. So these posters are dual purpose because they help people to simplify the reporting, of course, but also they serve as a constant reminder of a commitment to workplace safety. A big part of this step is testing. Test the QR codes with multiple devices and different lighting conditions at different distances. Make sure the form is capturing the information the way you intend. The last step here is socializing this within your organization. You want there to be an expectation for reporting. They want to make sure that everyone understands how to do it, make sure that they're familiar with the process, even do some testing to make sure that they have the knowledge to get this information. Really quickly now, I just want to hit on some of the fringe benefits. You're collecting all this data, whether you're doing that in your own database, whether you're doing that through a commercial system. Once you have the data, there's tons of value. You get visibility across your organization. So if you're a multi-location organization, being able to get this data for comparison across the different locations is critically important. Being able then to unlock the hidden insights in this data. Dakota has tools for doing analysis, lots of different tools, whether using a Power BI or some other type of business intelligence tool. The ability to drill into this information, to identify trends, correlations between the data is really what it's all about. Collaboration is a critically important piece. Collaborating on root cause investigations, documenting this information for compliance purposes is very important as well. And then creating that shared EHS knowledge base across your sites, across your locations. It makes it very simple for anyone to see, any EHS or site leader to see what the resolution has been when issues have occurred in the past. The cherry on top is the ability to demonstrate compliance very easily. You have a system documented, time-stamped, that goes a long way to demonstrating a commitment to compliance. And last, reporting to agencies is a breeze. Once you have the information associated to your locations, all the information required for reporting to OSHA, EPA is typically right there within the system. So I want to thank everyone for their time. Of course, I have a QR code on the screen here. Feel free to scan that. Hopefully there's enough time. I know we went a little long here. So if any questions, please have, they can be directed to me after. Hopefully you thought that information was valuable. I appreciate your time. Thanks.